What if Jon Snow had become king at the end of Game of Thrones? The Iron Throne was melted, Daenerys was gone, and Westeros stood at the edge of chaos. In our timeline, Jon Snow was banished to the north, his deeds overshadowed by compromise. But what if the lords of Westeros had chosen differently? What if Jon Snow, the man who killed Daenerys, who carried both Stark honor and Targaryen blood, had been crowned king? This is not just a change of rulers, it is the rewriting of an entire ending. How would the North react to one of their own sitting on the throne? Would the dragon Drogon have bowed to Jon as its master, or turned its fire against him? Would Westeros have found peace under a king who never wanted power, or would new wars have erupted from old wounds? Tonight, we explore an alternate history where Jon Snow, the bastard of Winterfell, the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, the lover of Daenerys Targaryen, becomes king of the Seven Kingdoms. From the aftermath of Daenerys' fall to the long future of Westeros, we will follow the path of a reluctant ruler who never asked for a crown, but was destined to wear one. The ruins of King's Landing still smoked, its streets filled with ash and corpses. Daenerys lay dead by Jon's hand, her blood staining the throne room. In our world, Drogon carried her body away, leaving only silence. But, in this alternate tale, Drogon does not vanish into the east. Instead, he lands before Jon Snow, his massive wings shaking the ruined Red Keep. The lords of Westeros gather in fear, expecting Drogon to burn Jon alive for killing his queen. But the dragon does not strike. Instead, he lowers his head. The bond of blood is stronger than vengeance. Drogon senses the Targaryen within Jon. The message is clear. Jon is not Daenerys' murderer, but her heir. Tyrion Lannister seizes the moment. Shackled and weary, he argues before the lords, "You all fear the return of fire and blood. Yet here stands Jon Snow, honor-bound, Stark in spirit, Targaryen in blood. He did what no one else dared. He saved the world from tyranny, and the dragon himself bows to him. If there must be a king, let it be him." The council hesitates. Sansa demands the North's independence. Gendry, newly legitimized as Baratheon, fears losing Storm's End to another Targaryen. Yara Greyjoy whispers of betrayal, while Samwell Tarly argues for mercy and unity. But in the end, Drogon's presence silences them all. No lord dares defy the beast that now circles the skies above the city. Jon Snow, reluctant and torn, refuses at first. "I do not want it," he says. But as he looks upon the ashes of King's Landing, the cries of the people, and the ruins of what Daenerys built, he realizes that wanting is no longer the question. The realm needs a king, not of ambition, but of necessity. And so, with the rubble of the Red Keep as witness, Jon Snow is crowned not upon the Iron Throne, but upon a seat built anew. The melted remains of the throne are reforged into a simpler chair of steel and wood. The age of dragons is gone, but the age of snow begins. The first challenge comes immediately. The North. Sansa Stark, proud and unyielding, reminds her brother that she fought for independence. In our timeline, she secured it easily. But, under Jon's kingship, the question is more delicate. Jon offers compromise. Westeros united under his crown, but the North given full autonomy in governance. The North bows to no king but him, their own blood. Arya, restless, sails west regardless, her destiny unchanged. Bran, the three-eyed raven, withdraws from politics, watching silently as Jon reshapes the realm. The people, weary of fire and blood, embrace Jon. He is not Cersei, not Daenerys, not another tyrant. He is the king who killed his queen to save them. Songs spread of the reluctant king. the man who bore the crown like a burden, not a prize. But peace is fragile. The Reach resents stark rule. The Iron Islands push for rebellion. Dorne whispers of independence. Without dragons to enforce unity, Jon must rely on diplomacy. He rebuilds the capital with northern honesty, outlawing slavery and Essos trade with Westeros, reforming the Night's Watch into a peacekeeping force. Drogon remains by his side. Where once dragons were feared as weapons of conquest, Jon uses Drogon as a symbol of peace. He forbids fire upon cities, using the beast only to deter war. To the people, this is proof that the dragon is no longer master, but servant of justice. Yet Jon's heart is heavy. He mourns Daenerys, haunted by her voice in dreams. He refuses marriage, producing no heirs. The lords grow restless. What happens when the reluctant king dies? Who inherits the throne? Tyrion, as Hand of the King, proposes a council of succession, a proto-democracy. Samwell urges for broader reforms, but not all lords agree. Whispers of rebellion spread. Some see Jon's mercy as weakness. Still, his reign endures. Justice returns. Trade stabilizes. The people live without fear of wildfire, of dragonfire, of tyrants. Westeros, for the first time in decades, knows fragile peace. Years pass. Jon grows older, his hair whiter than snow. His reign becomes legend, remembered as an age of reluctant peace. Yet shadows remain. Without heirs, the throne is contested. Factions rise. The Baratheons claim the right through Robert's line, the Greyjoys through force, the Dornish through ancient independence. Civil war looms. Jon, weary of crowns, contemplates abdication. Drogon, aging as well, grows restless. Some say he senses the end of his bloodline. Others whisper he seeks out other dragons in distant lands. His presence, once a unifying force, becomes uncertain. In his final years, Jon summons the lords to a great council. He argues for the end of monarchy. No man or woman should bear this crown unwillingly, he says. He proposes a system of elected rulers, each great house casting votes, the people represented by their lords. Tyrion calls it the birth of choice. But history is not so simple. Many lords resist, unwilling to surrender hereditary power. The council ends in bitter debate. Jon, disheartened, rides Drogon north one last time. Some say he returns to the Wall, others that he disappears into the wilds. Westeros survives him, but not unchanged. His reign plants seeds of reform. His choices inspire whispers of democracy, of freedom from bloodlines. Songs remember him not as conqueror nor tyrant, but as the king who never wanted to be king. And yet, history asks, was his peace strong enough to last, or merely a pause before the next storm? If Jon Snow had been crowned king, Westeros might have known peace unlike any before. He would rule with honor, justice, and mercy, qualities rare in kings. Yet his reluctance, his refusal to secure heirs, and his reliance on fragile alliances would leave the future uncertain. Perhaps he would be remembered as the last true king, the man who ended the cycle of blood and fire. Or perhaps his crown would only delay the inevitable wars of succession that tore Westeros apart once more. The truth is simple. Jon Snow as king would have given the realm something it had never known: hope. But hope alone cannot bind kingdoms forever. So ask yourself, would Jon Snow's crown have saved Westeros, or doomed it to yet another bloody chapter in its endless history of fire and ice?